Right behind me, I've got the 2026 Ram 2500 Warlock. If you guys are new here, my name is Jason and I do reviews just like this here in Canada. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ram 2500s, the safety features you do get with the Warlock model here, the engine and towing specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. Also, thank you to Orangeville Chrysler for allowing me to review this Ram 2500 Warlock. So for the different models available with the Ram 2500s, here are all of them, and also depending on the model that you do pick, you can pick from different drivetrains, cab types, and box lengths. And as for the safety features you do get with the Warlock model, here is a list of them. As for what powers the Warlock, this does have the upgraded 6.7 liter Cummins high output turbocharged diesel engine, which makes 430 horsepower and a whopping 1,075 pound-foot of torque. Towing wise, you're looking at about 19,880 pounds the way that this truck is spec'd out, and payload is about 3,290 pounds. For fuel economy, there was no official numbers on this, but yeah, it's a diesel and you should be pretty happy with it. Plus it varies by city, highway, and towing. I'm also going to throw up the window sticker because this truck does have quite a few options added to it, so as I walk around the truck, you will notice all of those. Alright, let's start off in the front of the Warlock here, and these things definitely look mean. Just the 2500s in general, just the way that they've made them now. So up here, everything is blacked out. So on the bumper, you have a blacked out bumper. You've got some openings right here in the center with the front safety sensors. There's also the front recovery hooks, the LED fog lights on the corners, and then you get into the grille area. Even the grille area has like the main section obviously, but then you have a lower section here which also houses the front radar. And then in the main grille area, I like the designing of all of the lines and everything, especially the corner pockets on both the sides there. And then you do have the massive blacked out Ram letters. Here, usually, depending on the trim that you get or the option that you can get a front-facing camera there. And then you move into these very cool looking and unique LED front lights. I love the top and the bottom sections in this, and these things just stand out, and everything tied together, this truck just looks very, very good. Now coming to the side of the 2500 here, you can really see the massive size on this thing. The Warlock also has the Bilstein shocks, the anti-spin rear differential, the transfer case skid plate and hill descent control. And also, this does have a 1-inch factory lift. And also up top here, you will notice the clearance lights right at the top, and then around your windows you do have the black trimming across the bottom, just the black rubber look here, and then you do have the body color in the center and then at the top as well. As for the door handles, these do come in black, as you can see. Even for the side mirrors, you've got these massive tow mirrors. It's all in the black plastic. You've got the turn signal, the lights, all that good stuff is there. And then coming to this side here is what that looks like from this side. So you got the top mirror, the bottom mirror, and then a light here as well. And these are actually power extending side mirrors, so you can extend them out and bring them back in. It's all power adjustable, which is nice. Over on the hood on the side here, you do have the 2500 and the heavy duty in red, and then over on the fender you've got the blacked out Cummins turbo diesel in red badging right there. And then this also has the side steps. As for the wheel setup on this, you do have the nice matte black finish with the aluminums, and these are your 20-inch wheels which are paired with the 34-inch tires. And if I do take a step back, you can see this definitely fits the Warlock perfectly, I think. All right, let's head around to the rear, and even on the back of the bed here you do have the Warlock decaling, and then swinging around to the rear, the nice looks continue. Over on the bumper, just like the front, you've got it all blacked out. You've got the rear safety sensors, the hitches there in the center, and then up by the license plate area you have all your towing outlets. Also at the back of the bed you do have a extendable little step here, so if you just push out on it just like that, so there it is. Now over on the tailgate here, you do have the massive blacked out Ram letters. It also says 4x4, and then up by the tailgate handle area you have your backup camera, and if you look way underneath you do have an LED light. And then speaking of lights, you also have these nice looking rear tail lights. Now let's go ahead and open up the tailgate on this and see what we are working with back here. Now, as you probably just saw, this is not a dampened tailgate, so it's not soft opening. It will just drop down on you. So back here you do have the spray and bed liner, which I highly suggest having on any vehicle so you're not scratching up the bed. You've also got the fifth wheel and gooseneck setup here, so if you are going to be using that. And then back here you do have the hooks in all of the corners. And then over here, you do have the LED bed lighting, which of course is gonna be on both the sides. And then here you have more outlets, a 115 volt outlet. And yeah, so that's what that looks like back here. Over on the rear window, the middle window is power opening, which is nice. All right, let's jump inside to the rear and see what the Warlock has to offer. So it's an all black interior, and all of this is plastic. There's no soft touch anywhere. So you do have plastic everywhere. And down here, you do have space, obviously. And then you have a speaker right here. And that's pretty much it for the door trim area. Now let's check out the interior seats. So you do have a cloth interior. And of course, you do have the contrast stitching here, but it's not all that bad because the cloth here in the center and the back here, you do have like this cool designing going on, which is nice. And it does make the seats a little bit better and makes them stand out a bit as well, because you do have contrast stitching all across everywhere. Now the middle section, usually where you have the drop down for your cup holders, you don't have it here. This is a bench seat here, and to lift up the seat, you just pull it up just like that, and you do have space underneath, so a little area here and on the other side that you can definitely utilize. Now I want to jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom in this. All right, once you're inside, legroom wise, I am pretty good, and I'm sure this seat can be adjusted even more, but still, I have a good amount of legroom. Now in terms of the headroom, this is a 2500, and as you can see, this whole area goes into the roof line there, and I'm wearing a hat for reference. I'm 5'11", and I have tons of space, as you can see. Now behind the driver and the passenger seat, I love how it's all just fabric trimming. There's no plastic or anything, but you don't have the storage pockets on either of the seats. Now, since the front seats are a bench seat setup, you don't have a normal or a traditional center console at the back here. Instead, you just have your venting down there and then some space. And then also, since you don't have cup holders in the middle section here, you have them down here on the floor instead. All right, now let's jump to the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear. And the only thing that I can really notice up here is a little bit of a bigger area at the bottom, and everything else is identical to the rear. And then the only other thing that you have is typical, which is your window controls and your side mirror controls. Now for the side mirror controls, you have a bunch of controls like I was mentioning. So here are the side mirror lights, and here is how you adjust the little bottom portion right there. And then this right here is to extend the side mirrors. So here I'm going to show you, I'm just going to press the little button there, and then I can use the arrows, and there you are. So a very, very convenient feature to have, I think. Now, as for the front seats, these are identical to the rear. So the rear is the bench seat setup, and the front is also a bench seat setup. And the seats up here, the outside seats, do come heated. Now, let me show you when I put this up how it looks, because if you are using this or utilizing the middle seat, so this is what it's going to look like. You have a middle section there instead of the center console. And then over on the side here, you do have the manual seat adjustments. Underneath, just your pedals there. Here's your parking brake. You have your 115 volt power outlet, the button here for the bed. And then up here, you have your exterior lighting controls with the fog lights and the back top bed light, cluster dimmers, and even around the venting, I like how it has like this gray trimming that goes all the way around. And then as for the steering wheel, this is manual adjustable. All right, now entering inside, your whole dashboard, just like the door trimming, is all plastic. You got a speaker there in the corner, one in the center, and one on the other side. And then you get into your cluster area. Now, this is not a fully digital cluster area. You just have a middle screen there, and on there you can view a ton of different information, and all of that is controlled through here. So if I just keep going and scrolling down, you can see a ton of information, and some of the menus actually will have more things within it, so just keep that in mind. As for the steering wheel, you do have the soft touch material. This does not come heated, and you do have the aluminum trimming all the way around, including the badge here. And then on the left here, you do have your cluster controls, phone controls are there, and then on the other side, you have your follow distance for your cruise control. Here's the rest of it, and then your gear limit. Also behind the steering wheel, you do have media controls, which are on both of the sides. And then on the left here behind, you do have your wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. And then here is where your shifter is. So for the middle seat here, if you're not utilizing this, well, you drop it down just like this, and then you have 3 cup holders. You have soft touch material here, which turns into your armrest with the contrast stitching. And opening this up, you do have space in here, plus a USB port. Also at the bottom here, you have more space that you can definitely utilize. And then coming to the very bottom here, you have a bunch of USB ports, aux ports. You even got some room down there that you can utilize. And then way down there, you have a 115 volt plug. And then by the steering wheel here, you have all your different modes: 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, and then your hill descent control. And then right below the touchscreen here, you have your trailer brake controller, a few controls here. So here is your exhaust brake. You've got your tow haul, rear parking sensors to turn them on or off, and then for the front as well. And then you have your touchscreen here. This is a 12-inch touchscreen, and on here you can view all sorts of obviously different information. And I like how on the sides, on both the sides, you have your heating and cooling integrated. Plus at the top, you have your lane keep, hazards, and traction control. And then on the main screen here, so this is what the homepage looks like. I love the layout that Ram does because it's so nice and clean. And you've also got a second page here, which you can add widgets, shortcuts, all that good stuff. You can also edit pages, add a page, delete a page, and even reorder your pages. So let's go to the media section here. This will be your AM, FM, Sirius XM. This also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then under the comfort section, you have more of the heating and cooling, which you can also control through here. Next will be the navigation. So this is what that looks like once it does populate. Next is the phone section once you do have it paired with the vehicle. Next, under the vehicle section, you have 3 menus up top. So right now it is under controls. So you have your mirror dimmer and rear view backup camera. And then under the dashboard, you have your off-road pages, which has all of these necessary things. So you've got dynamics, there's also the gauges here, and then you have your pitch and roll. Now let's go back for a second and go under towing and trailers. So here you have trailer 1 and 2 once you do have them connected. And then heading back under settings, this will be just your usual stuff that you have on any vehicle that you can go into either of these menus and adjust whatever you want to adjust. And then lastly is the apps section down there. So you got your favorites, and then you can do it by category. So you have all these different tabs. Plus this has Alexa built in, which is pretty neat. And when you go ahead and put it into reverse, here's what the backup camera looks like. And you can also zoom in and zoom out. Also on the dashboard behind the screen, you have some space here, an outlet there, and it also says Ram. Now moving past the rear view mirror, up top here you have your interior lighting control, your rear power sliding window controls, assist, SOS, and then pulling this down here or pushing it down, you have your sunglasses area. And here's what the key fob looks like for the 2500. It's your usual Ram key. All right, coming around to the passenger side, let me show you what this looks like on the dashboard, because you do have this nice open area for storage that you can utilize, and then you just have your usual glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this Warlock. The pricing you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Ram 2500 Warlock. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?